Phantom Menace.
Now, let's see, that... I have some split emotions about that, because I saw that in the theater the day it came out. Waited in line for probably an hour and a half just to get into the theater. I think I ended up seeing it 3 times in the theater before I finally realized, but you know, it's got its good parts, it's got its bad parts. I mean, the pod racing right and Darth Maul.
The thing is, Phantom Menace had one of the best opportunities ever. Not the fact that they could have restarted the entire Star Wars trilogy with their franchise, but they had Darth Maul, who, if you take him out of that movie, is a total badass. He has some of the coolest things ever. He's got horns growing out of his head, he's red and black, he's like super hardcore goth. He's got his double-sided lightsaber, which we hadn't seen before. That was like, his fight scenes were actually really freaking cool, but he was just in a crappy movie.
Other than like an hour and a half of pod race and then 5 minutes of Darth Maul, and that was basically what they built. I was like, check out this cool new Sith Lord. This guy looks really awesome. He's gonna kick so much butt. It's gonna take 2 Jedi to fight him, and then they killed him in 5 minutes. And I was like, really? That's all I get? Totally lame.
I use my kids as a judge, and my kids have failed me. I showed them all the movies in the correct order. And first showing, they decided correctly that they loved the 3 original ones the best. And then in their constant reviewing and rewatching and showing of Star Wars over and over again, they suddenly decided that Jar Jar was funny. And that's when I disowned them. I used to have 2 kids. I hope they're doing well.
It's the best Star Wars movie ever.
Ever?
Yeah. I mean, nothing even comes close to the magic that occurs when one watches The Phantom Menace. Jar Jar Binks completely revitalized that franchise.
Phantom Menace. Oh, God. I remember going to go see that movie opening night, and I was so excited. And then I just remember I had to wait 3.5 hours until it started at midnight. And then from the opening scene to the closing scene, I was just disappointed. Unbelievably disappointed. You know, Jar Jar Binks, Misa wanna kill ya.
It felt like a Star Wars movie, but it felt far from the actual Star Wars story. And I get it, it was, you know, supposed to be an origin story essentially, but I feel like it pulled too much from it for me to enjoy it with time. And I'll still watch it today. There's just not as much excitement as the original 3 that I get from it. Even then, I feel the other 2 in the series were slightly better than The Phantom Menace.
That movie was terrible. Phantom Menace was like, I don't know, you got this little... One thing I really didn't like is that, okay, you got this little bratty kid who they do a midichlorian count. He got some like parasite in him that has a symbiotic relationship with his host. And that's what makes you good at having the Force. Not training or dedication or, you know, like meditating like a Buddhist monk or something. It's the fact that, oh, I just happen to have this in me, well, then I can be a Jedi. I mean, Yoda never looked at Luke and was like, well, let me prick his and get the blood sample and see how many midichlorians he has in before I train him. No, I mean, he went and he did his training. That's one thing that really bugged me about that movie. I mean, besides the obvious.